and happy Tuesday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. Yeah.
I'm not wearing green.
This is about as green as I have.
Well, I hope everybody had a great week. We missed you last week, buddy. I'm assuming you had a great trip.
We had a great trip. So me and 5 other of my old firefighter friends from Pittsburgh, we were all firefighters together from the mid-90s until about 2010. And we all got together and went on a boys' cruise. And I was very, very wise. I convinced them not to do the adult unlimited drink package before we went. And I think that saved us any international incidents. And everybody came home with no broken hips, and we didn't lose anybody. Nobody got arrested. So it was a really good week.
How do you do that? Like, I'm impressed. Like, you guys are fun party animals. So.
Well, I just said, listen, no good will come of this. We are not 25 anymore. 8, 9, 10 drinks in a day, nothing good will happen. And there's a couple of the crew that here's the scary part. I am clearly the voice of reason out of this crew. Yeah, these are the guys. So there's Wes in the front. He's a paramedic coordinator with a hospital chain up in Pittsburgh. There's Gregg next. He works for Charleston County 911. There's Doug. He came in from Michigan. I'll tell you a quick story about Doug. There's John behind him. He's the assistant fire chief for Virginia Beach EMS. And then Pavan behind, and he lives down here in Mount Pleasant now also. So Doug had a nonstop flight. He was going to come in on Saturday, fly nonstop from Detroit to Charleston and spend the day with us and then drive down. So first his flights gets canceled to Charleston. So then they booked him through LaGuardia. So he's at the airport for hours. That flight gets canceled. And then he waits another couple hours, and he's going to go from Detroit to Indianapolis to Atlanta and then straight to Orlando. Like, we lost Charleston. So just like, get to Orlando and we'll figure it out from there. So he goes like 30 hours without sleep, and he accidentally books to Tampa instead of Orlando. So I get up on Sunday morning at like 7:30, and I'm looking at my phone, and he's like, "Good news, I'm getting on the flight to Tampa." I'm like, "No, don't do it." It was too late. He was on the flight. So he flew to Tampa and then took an Uber all the way from Tampa over to Port Canaveral.
That's amazing.
What do you think an Uber trip from Tampa Airport to Cape Canaveral costs?
Well, I just looked up what it is from Orlando to Port Canaveral, and that was like $65. Yeah. So I'm guessing from Tampa, 150.
Yeah, it was just over 150.
Okay.
And so he made it over there, and he was there before us, luckily. And then the poor guy, like, I'm super extraordinaire member, lifetime titanium with Marriott or whatever. You think I could get a room a couple hours early? No. So he got there at like 10 o'clock in the morning over there by 11 o'clock, and he just wandered down to the beach and passed out on the beach and left his luggage because they didn't have a room ready for him. But we all got on the boat the next day. We had a fantastic time.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time. You were very missed.
I did come over with a man cold, though. It's just starting to hit me tonight. So I if I'm a little sniffly here, I apologize.
Not only were you missed, here in our team, but you were missed at our award ceremony as well. And, all the other people were like, "Oh, Mark, where's Jeff? Where's Jeff?" Like, didn't matter. I was there. They were just asking for you.
That's not true. Don't let your little feelings be hurt.
But I was glad to accept these in honor of you. We got 2 awards at our award ceremony. We got several awards, but this is just 2 pictures of them. The one on the left there, we are super proud of, because out of 20,000 agents across the world, really, in Realty One Group, we were number 10 in the nation, or across all the teams that Realty One has. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, I think it was cool.
and it's not Mark and I now. It's like we're just the dancing apes. Like it's our team. They're better at this than we are out on the streets every day. They're really good. We are just so in love with every person that's on the team now. We have about 10 total. And what's cool about this is like we're competing. This is in volume, and we're competing. This is on dollar volume, and so we're competing with with brokerages in San Diego and Los Angeles and New York, where a lot of the prices of the homes are a lot higher than they are here. So I'm real proud of that one.
Yeah. I forgot to mention, everybody definitely chime in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, and if you have any questions about anything in South Carolina, that's why we do these lives. We would love to answer those questions live on here. Most of the time we know them, sometimes we don't, but we'll get an answer for you one way or another. And speaking of our team, we got new team photos. So here's one of the team photos. We won't put the silly ones up, but I thought this was a good one.
Yeah, it's so you may not caught it if you haven't been paying attention over the last week or so, but that handsome fella in the back left there on the far side, that's Rick Z. Many of you have seen him over the years. He was with Meritage in 4 seasons, and he has recently joined the team. So we are super excited to have him. He's always been one of our, I don't want to say our absolute favorite, but he probably was like of all the new construction guys we've ever dealt with. Like he was our favorite. We love some other people we work with all the time, but we did a ton of deals with Rick, and as is with a lot of the people that we've. See, here's how this works. So every neighborhood has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different new construction agents that work that neighborhood, and so we can work with anybody that we want to in those neighborhoods. So we kind of pick the cream of the crop. In like, over in Carnes, we've got people in all these different neighborhoods. Del Webb, Rick was our go-to at 4 seasons, and we got super lucky because now we've got Adam over there, and we love Adam. So Rick is gone, but we were able to replace Rick with another home run there in 4 seasons. But having him on the team,
had Adam on.
Super excited.
We had Adam on last week, so everybody knows who Adam is. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Actually, I listened to the whole podcast on the ride home.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Driving home with Pavan is no different than driving home with my wife. He slept the whole way home, and he wakes up and he's like, "Oh, that wasn't a bad ride at all."
Yeah. How nice. Well, so what did I mess up last week? Did I do okay?
No, it was great. No, okay. Everything was. Robin held everything together.
Yep. Thank God I had Robin on.
Yes.
And then we got so Rick is new on our team, and then Michaela and Cindy are also new on our team.
Yep.
Michaela works on our operations team to help keep everything rolling. Cindy's a new realtor on our team, not new to the business.
No, she's got lots of experience. Her and I did a deal together like 7 years ago, probably.
Yeah. And then I think everybody else has been on the live at one point or another. So yeah, we've got a fabulous team. I'm so excited for them.
Yep, really do.
All right, let's hit on the weather real quick first. So we've got a little bit of chill in the air today, right? Like
I put a jacket on, and we had the fireplace lit at the house last night, which I thought we were going to be done with the fireplace for the year, but we got another night. It's going to be cold tonight, I think.
Yeah, so it looks like 34 is the low tomorrow, which really is tonight. Only a high of 56 tomorrow, but I'm liking, most of the weather after that. I don't see anything but a 60 in here.
Yeah, it's what isn't shown here is that the sun should actually be a little bit greenish, not yellow, because it's pollen season here. Hey, who knows? I don't know if this is a cold I have or if this is pollen kicking.
Pollen coming back.
Yeah, the car was green when I got home.
Well, speaking of seasons, a lot of our clients have said that there's no seasons down in the Charleston area. Maybe Mike has said, hey, we got 3 or 4 seasons up in Greenville where he lives now. But we're here to prove them wrong. Now we actually have 12 seasons, right?
There are 12 seasons. I found this on Facebook today We're currently in this spring of deception. That's where we'll start out. Winter, you understand. Full spring happens about February 15th, where you're like, oh, it's 75 degrees. And then, nope, you get smacked in the face with some more cold days. That's second winter that kicks in. Now we're in spring of deception. Like you think it's spring because a couple days ago it was 80 degrees. But now third winter has kicked in, which we're in right now, going down into the 30s tonight. And we're also way deep into the pollinating. Listen, I cannot stress how much this is the thing here. It doesn't last long, but man, when it hits for a couple of days until a big rain, snow, or big storm rolls through to knock it all down, it's silly. So we're about to be out of this by this weekend. I think we'll be moving into actual spring, and then summer. And then comes July, August, hell's front porch. That's when you second guess all of the decisions you've made in your life. And you say, what was I thinking moving from Long Island? I want to go back to paying $22,000 a year in property taxes because I'm going to die here. And that lasts for about a month. And then we're into false. It cools down, gets nice. And then, Mother Nature comes back, kicks you in the stones one more time and says, nope, you're not done. It's still hot. And then it's beautiful in the fall.
Yeah. Weren't we in Myrtle Beach in October and everybody was in shorts and swimming in the ocean and stuff? Yeah.
It's all the Pittsburghers that came down that are lunatics that they don't, you and I are freezing to death. And they're like, this is summer.
Yeah. Let's hit on some comments. Rose, happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Rose. Hope you're doing good. Ken's on from Del Webb next in. What's up, Ken?
With the Shamrocks.
Heidi in West from Connecticut. Hashtag Collins. Hashtag Summers Corner. That amenity center over there. That amenity center over there is looking so good. Like I'm so excited.
Listen, I will tell you that Mark wanted to break in the other day. And I was the voice of reason. We were over there doing some video, getting a couple things. And he's like, well, what if nobody's looking? I'm like, yeah, we're super stealthy. Look at us. We'll just sneak around. There's no way anybody will see us.
I'll turn sideways.
We are asking for some favors to get let in there before it opens up to get some video. So we'll see what we can pull.
Yeah, we put some drone pictures on our Facebook page last week. So if you're not following our Facebook page, we would love for you to do that. Livin Carolina Team at Realty One Group Coastal. Yeah. So go check that out for sure. Edna said, welcome back, Jeff. You're wearing your green, I see. Edna here in PA. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Good to see you, Ms. Gansky.
Club Turco checking in from our construction zone in Tidewater. I've been where you are, man. You're actually looking good. I just saw your photos today. He's building his pool, Jeff. And I don't know if you saw his Facebook photos today.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But somebody was talking. So we go out. Whenever we go out, we often see people in these neighborhoods, that watch the channel or that aren't necessarily past clients of ours, but watch the channel. And somebody mentioned Club Turco in a conversation I was having with somebody in the neighborhood a couple days ago.
No, that was today.
Oh, was that today?
Yeah, today we talked to that guy.
Yeah.
Well, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone, from Joy and Brian. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, too. Hello from Frosty, Buffalo, New York. That must be like real frosty because we're Charleston frosty here.
I want to fly up to Buffalo soon. The girls have never been to Niagara. I want to fly into Buffalo and take them across the water there into Niagara. Maybe this summer. I'm thinking about doing that end of the summer right before they go back to school.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been there either.
Oh, it's a great couple-day trip. Go to the Maid of the Mist, a couple things. Eat you some buffalo chicken wings. You'll be good.
Tracy Turco spent 4 hours at CHS yesterday waiting for Delta to take me to Detroit. Finally bagged it and went back home.
Oh,
that's so awful.
Yeah, this TSA nonsense is screwing everybody up.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute so I can blow my nose. I apologize.
Yeah, go ahead. Duncan359, we're in upstate New York. I bet it's cold up there. If it's cold in Buffalo, it must be cold where you are too. You should think about moving. You should think about going to South Carolina.
If only there was a channel that would tell her where to go.
Right. The sands are on. Hey, everyone, dealing with schizo weather in Texas.
Schizo.
What is it?
Schizo.
Oh, schizo.
Like my mother-in-law. Schizo.
Obviously, I don't know how to pronounce words.
Well, you don't have a mother-in-law that's schizophrenic, so you don't know all these words. Actually, it could have been a lot worse.
83 on Sunday, 33 on Monday morning. Yeah, that's a little schizophrenia there. Lynn and Dan here again from Mass. Hey guys, hope you guys are doing good.
Look at this.
I think I saw our Facebook post about Lynn.
I love that puppy dog picture.
Right? Joe and I agree. You and your team are the best. Oh, thank you guys. We appreciate that.
Rose.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin White. Hey guys, first time caller here.
Hey buddy.
Long time listener. That's what he would say. First time caller here, long time listener.
Oh, what was that? What radio show was that always on?
Wasn't it on Frasier?
Well, it was on Frasier, but it was a radio show too.
Kevin.
I'll think of it. That's all I'm going to think about now. If I have a blank stare in my face a little bit here, you'll know why.
Thanks, Kevin, for saying congratulations. It was 65 here in upstate New York yesterday and 25 today. Holy mackerel.
Michigan got a whole bunch of snow over the weekend. Doug went home to some big snow.
Oh, yeah?
Pittsburgh had it too.
Well, better him than us.
Yep.
Bob on from Horizons Carnes just got back from our St. Patty's Day celebration. So that's cool. They're already having get-togethers in the neighborhood over there, even though the amenity center is not done.
Yeah.
Over in Horizon Carnes. So glad to hear that. That's awesome.
Wait a second. You're saying there's a party in a 55-plus neighborhood? What? It doesn't make any sense to me.
There's parties every week, probably.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. What areas of South Carolina will become the new Summerville? Where will the next wave of growth be? Oh, great question. I'll let you answer first.
Yeah, so I feel like the new Summerville is just going to keep expanding out towards Ridgeville, out towards the Volvo plant. I think there's some areas of Greenville that are growing quickly, and it can be kind of similar to Summerville in the amount of growth that they've had. We're seeing some areas up in the Myrtle area that are stretching out past, Conway, some of the other areas around Myrtle that are growing. But I think that my answer would be that there's really not going to be a new Summerville that we've caught wind of. It's just that Summerville is going to keep expanding.
Yeah. So from here, I feel like Monk's Corner to Bono, I feel like that area is going to start popping off here in the next 5 to 10 years. I also think Ridgeville is going to become bigger than it is for sure, and that's what you mean by expanding.
Point Hope, out towards Point Hope, I think will be a big increase. We're seeing that as evidenced by the Del Webb going down there.
Yep, Point Hope for sure. And then I feel like that Ravenel is going to keep going too.
Yeah.
Like just these outer areas that are around are definitely going to start popping off. All right, Cindy says, will you bring me some water to wash off the pollen? She probably means off of her body because she's been out working so much lately.
Well, no, there's no water to be had here in Goose Creek today. They had a water main break here about overnight last night, I think. And so we're on a 24-hour, which I don't know if you caught, Mark, is going to roll into a 48-hour boil water advisory because the repair that they did is leaking again. And so they have to redo it. So once they redo it, that starts the clock again on the 24-hour window. So they've been filling up all the big tanks, the water towers today so that they can shut off the water. I think they shut it off an hour ago. And now they're working off the tanks so they can make those repairs, and that'll start the clock again for 24 hours. So, I'm drinking. I had some gallons of water in the garage. I'm drinking from now.
So you didn't boil that water and then cool it down?
No. I did make iced tea though because I like to have iced tea when I'm on the live, and I was out iced tea, so I brewed some iced tea with the gallons of water, but then I didn't have ice to cool it down, so I'm just drinking water. Yeah, very sad.
Tony, the boat guy, is on from Del Webb Nexton. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Speaking of that, let me throw. He's got an event coming up. Let me unblock Jeff's face there. There we go. Cove to Coast Marine announces new Berkeley County location. They are. I put this up a couple weeks ago, but they are doing a open house March 20, 21, 22. Right here, not really far from your house, Jeff, right up the road there.
It's super close. I drove by it the other day because I was paying attention to where it was because I was thinking when this is happening, Andrew, I might take a slingshot ride up and go stop in and look at some boats.
Yeah. Well, it's 9 to 5 on Friday and Saturday and 9 to 1 on Sunday. So definitely go check it out. And then after Sunday, after his boat show, they should come down to our I'm looking for the slide. Sorry. They should come down to our event at the King Bay Extravaganza.
Yeah.
So the one on the left here, March 22nd from 3 to 6. We are one of the premier sponsors, I'll say. Church at Cane Bay is putting that one on. And they've been going at this for about 7 or 8 years now. And it's been a big event. Like even from year one, it's been a big event. But they had like 4,000 people there last year. It was the same year as the bridge run and all that. So they moved it up a year to try to, get some more people to come up a weekend. I mean, but they're going to have egg hunt, food truck, rodeos, vendors, jump castles. And then Jeff, tell them what we're going to have at our booth.
Yeah. So we have, and you're going to say that this is a fake Easter bunny. We actually have the real Easter bunny, the real one that's going to be there. So you bring your kids, bring your grandkids, bring your pets, get your picture taken with Easter Bunny. I've got a professional photographer there. We'll email you the pictures when we're done. Just come by and say hi. If you're in the big parking lot at Cane Bay High School, looking at the building, we're going to be right to the right or left of like the front 4 parking spots there, right at the front of the building. So we should be easy to find. So we'll be there 3 to 6 on Sunday. Come on out and say howdy.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Can't wait to see everybody out there. Duncan has a question. Do you get tropical storms from the coast or torrential rains? When I move there, I always look for flood zone X locations.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we're definitely capable of seeing a hurricane here. We see more, I would say, tropical storms than we see hurricanes. It's always possible the monster comes through here. I mean, we had Hugo, 30, 40 years ago, whatever it was. That was really rough. But the good news is that like all of the areas, not all the areas, but the vast majority of areas that Mark and I sell the most homes in are out here in the Summerville, Goose Creek, Monk's Corner parts of town. And that is, for the most part, all ex-flood zone. There are AEs and higher ones here occasionally. Like we stumbled across one in the ponds the other day that was a little bit higher, a little bit elevated than an X. But for the most part, the vast majority of them that we sell are ex-flood zone where you do not need to have flood insurance. So now comes 2 different conversations. Jeff, your realtor, says, hey, listen, it's never a bad idea to have flood insurance. You just never know. I will tell you that Mark and I, neither one of us, Mark lives in Cane Bay, I live in Carnes. We do not have flood insurance on our houses. I've just never seen the scenario where with all the retention ponds and the drainage and the interconnected waterways, all that, where it's needed. But if you are in an ex-flood zone, our friends over at Absolute Insurance, they can easily get you a quote. If you're not in a flood zone, if you're in an ex-flood zone, should I say, it's under $500 typically for flood insurance.
Yeah, I've been rethinking it just to stay on the safe side. I don't know. I might just go ahead and get it, but we haven't had anything, even with that 25 inches of rain. We didn't have anything here in our house. So, I don't know.
And it wasn't anywhere close. I mean, you had 25 inches of rain drop on top of you in a couple of days, and there was nothing in your neighborhood. Like it was it just wasn't a thing.
Yep. All right. Club Turco is legendary. Yes.
Come on. Looking forward to the end pictures.
Right? It's going to be great. Jackie, I finally saw Jackie yesterday. So last July 4th, we sponsored their event over at Old Rice as one of the sponsors.
Okay.
And I didn't let her. I asked her if we could put up a banner on the fence when they had their event, because I was away on a cruise at that point. And she said, yeah, of course, bring it over. And so I finally just went and picked it up yesterday or Sunday.
Yeah.
So she's had it for like 7 months.
Sorry, Jackie, we've been storing our crap in your garage for half a year. That was Mark, not me.
How whack is that? But anyways, I got to see her finally, and her lovely husband, who I went to high school with. And it was, they live less than a mile from me.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen them since July. How sad is that?
Pathetic.
Yes. Do Maid of the Mist or jet boat tour for Niagara Falls? Oh, do those. Okay.
Joe, I'm glad you said that, Joe, because that is the two things I was planning on doing in the couple of days when we do go. So I'm glad to hear you say that. I've never done either, actually. Back in the day, Andrew and I would just go to the casino and I did a bet on the casino at the cruise ship, Mark.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So I had all of us, there were 6 of us, we all threw in $50 a piece, and we were going to go, we did roulette, and we put all $300 on red, and we were going to let it ride 3 times. So it would triple. So 300 to 600, 600 to 1200, and 1200 to 2400. So we were going to either win nothing if black hit any time in those first 3 spins, or we were going to get $2,400. So we did the first bet, and it was red. We went with red because it was a firefighter group that we were doing it with, and the second one went red. So now we went from 3 to 6 and 6 to 12. So we had $1,200 on the table, and a couple of guys were like, "Hey, should we take it?" I'm like, no, let's go. Let's just we set this up at a time. We're letting it go 3 times or nothing. But the problem was the max bet on the cruise ship was $1,000. So we pulled $200 off. We let it ride the 3rd time, and black came up. But we just had to split the $200. So in essence, we only lost like $30 or $20, whatever it was, instead of the whole 50. But after the second one hit, I was screaming like a lunatic. I was that guy that nobody wants to be around in the casino. I might have had a couple moonshine drinks that night, and when that black hit, I was so sad.
Did you go back to bed after that?
Actually, that was the last night, and it was bedtime. Yes.
Jackie says WKRP was the
Cincinnati.
Show. That was
the long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Jackie.
Jackie, remember when they dropped turkeys out of the helicopter on Thanksgiving? I thought turkeys could fly.
Robert Gansey says, "You guys are the best. Never thought I would still be watching you guys 9 months after moving." Thank you, Robert. That means a lot to us. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's for sure. 9 months. That's a long time. If you can cook a baby in 9 months, bake one up.
I feel like it hasn't even been 9 months since he moved in. Like I think he was one of the first ones in Carnes Horizons.
Yeah,
if I remember.
Well, I mean, that neighbor has been growing quick.
Do you hear any rumors of data centers close to Summerville that might be in the way of that growth?
It's interesting you asked that, because I was on a call with somebody, when we talk about book a Zoom call with us and we'll jump on and talk about stuff. That was a big concern of theirs. I guess they're by a data center where they live now and they hate it. So we have heard rumor of a data center coming in the state here, but nowhere close to Summerville that I've heard. You're about the 3rd person that's asked that now. We should pay attention to that and see what we can find out. But no, the answer as of right now is no. We have not been notified of any coming to any of the areas that we would care about in Summerville.
The only big thing I can think of that has been not even controversial is that battery plant that was going to be helping Volvo or whatever.
Yeah.
That was the only big thing that people were talking about, but I haven't heard about data centers either. No. All right. Yeah. We'll watch out for that. When you guys talk about taxes, is that property and school taxes combined?
It is. So Charleston, Berkeley, Dorchester, where we do most of our work. Dorchester is probably the highest. It includes property and school. Berkeley and Charleston a little lower. All I can tell you is what my taxes are. My house is valued at $600,000. Probably it's 3,000 square foot, and my taxes I think were $2,300 this year. So that's property and school taxes together.
Yeah, my house is 2,100 square feet, and I think it was 1,800 this year.
We've had a couple calls with Long Island people, like I mentioned in the last couple of days.
15 grand.
Yeah. We one guy we were talking about. It's like, well, I'm thinking about buying a house down there and Mark and I are like, you pay triple the taxes. You might, if it's not your primary residence, you're going to be $6,000-7,000 a year in taxes. And he's like, and like nothing compared to what they're paying.
That's crazy. All right. Loretta says, are they increasing property taxes to pay for all of the new infrastructure needed to keep up with the population growth?
Yeah. We've seen some increases in property taxes. It's hard to compare because when my property taxes were probably $1,200-1,300 a year when I moved here, but that was 15 years ago. We see not a lot of big increases on a yearly basis. The taxes do always go up, but it hasn't been anything that I've thought, oh my God, I can't believe they went to that this year.
I feel like it's been about $100 a year. Like I think 7 years ago when I bought this house, we were right around 1,300 or 1,400, and now we're 1,800. So a little, maybe $50 a year.
Yeah. So some increases, but nothing scary. The other thing that we haven't seen a huge increase in is HOA prices. They've been pretty steady. HOAs in non-55s are averaging $800 a year to $1,800 a year for like Carnes, which has everything. They're actually lower in Nexton than they are in Carnes. And then in the 55 pluses, we haven't seen much increase. Four Seasons had the biggest increase that we've seen. They went like $50, right? But we hadn't seen an increase in many years for them.
Yeah. There was like a 4-year grace period that there was no increase, and then it went 25 and 25 for 2 years in a row, I think.
And so we see the 55s be anywhere from $275 to 350, 400 on the high end, and for the neighborhood HOA, kind of cut your grass, do the everything stuff.
If you drink grapes, you don't have to worry about the water issue, Jeff.
Oh yeah, well, see, I don't drink wine. Although I do have some beer in the fridge and some moonshine, but
I like a little wine.
I don't think we
not
want
a lot of wine, but I like
on
wine.
the live while drinking moonshine. That's probably not a good business decision on our parts.
Well, we had a few friends that did that.
Yes, we did. Those were some of the most interesting Facebook lives I've ever watched.
Yeah. Robert says they plan to stop by on Sunday. Awesome. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, right up by the food trucks is where our tent's going to be and all.
Yeah,
Just
good.
with a big banner. You'll see it. Robin Hardade. We love you too, Robin. All right. Anthony says, thank you for the shout out. Hope to see you guys there. Say hello. Grab a burger. Awesome. Thank you.
Looking forward to
Abigail, my daughter, says hi.
Hi, Abigail.
What did you shoot? She went and played 9 holes after school with her golf girls. So let's see what she shot.
Abby, can you quit goofing around and get my daughter put into your school, please?
Yeah, that would be nice, right? Bob was the first one in. We settled first too. Oh yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. They were the first one in that neighborhood. All right. Joe says my school taxes are $13,000 and property taxes are $50,000. I think that's the highest I've seen so far. $18,800.
No, we had one. I think it was Jersey that said 22.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's ugly, Joe.
What do the average electric and gas bills run each year?
We said we were going to do this, and we haven't done it yet, and we will do it. Mark and I are going to go and do show you what our bills are for the year on a 2,000 and a 3,000 square foot house. We just figured my electric out, didn't we? Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember yours. I know mine. So now remember, I have a pool, and since winter has started a couple months ago, my pool pump is running 24 hours a day just to be safe and not freeze up any of the pipes, because I don't want to deal with that. So I have that going on, and sometimes, which I haven't run it this winter, I have a pool heater that's electric and a pool chiller that's electric. And so in the high months when the air conditioning's running 24/7 nonstop, I've gone up to, I think the highest has been $230 a month. But in the winter months, when I barely run any heat, and I'm down at like 125, 130 electric.
I think for electric, if I remember right, when I looked at the average for all 12 months, mine was 150. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. And the gas bill is very low.
Yeah. Gas bill is like $35 a month, maybe 50 a month in the wintertime, because most of the heaters down here are run by gas in the winter. So maybe $55, $65 a month for gas in the winter.
I used the heck out of my fireplace this year, my gas fireplace. And I don't remember what the bill was, but I definitely could tell a difference. I remember thinking, I think I spent about $100 running my fireplace this month, but it was cold here this year.
Yeah. I keep hearing different things in Bradford Point, in Nexton, or just close to Nexton. Also, what are your thoughts on the Bradford Point neighborhood? I like this neighborhood. So it is part of Nexton. It is not the part where you get to use the Midtown or Brighton Park amenities. It has its own pool, its own playground. There's a half basketball court there, I think. There's a little soccer field. So it has its own amenities. You can't use the other amenities, but you can still use all the trails, still super close to all the restaurants and I-26. It's just a little bit further out than Midtown, past the new hospital and all that, almost to Cane Bay. So it is part of Nexton. Centex is the builder. So Centex is a corporation of Pulte. So yep. Pulte builds all the Del Webbs. So anything to add to that, Jeff?
Yeah, no, it's a great priced neighborhood. They're doing all spec homes. You can't pick your anything. We've sold a bunch in there. Our people have been happy in there. It's, you don't have access to the big amenities like Mark said, but it's really no different than any of the other 23 neighborhoods over in Cane Bay. They all have their own individual pool, playground, basketball court, all that kind of stuff. By car, you're quick into Nexton and over to Cane Bay to go grocery shopping. It's a good location.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we just put out a video on Bradford Point maybe a month ago.
We were over there filming like a month ago, so that sounds right.
Yeah. So they're going to be finishing up here pretty soon. They got just maybe 30 homes left in there, I think. I saw the builder. Remember the builder with the braids from Del Webb? He moved over to Bradford Point, and I saw him in one of the stores here recently, and he was giving me an update on Bradford Point. All right, Abby said she shot a 45 from the Orange Tee, so that's a little bit further back than she usually shoots.
Nice.
A 45. That's pretty good, Abby. Good job.
Yeah. It's a
Mike says the owner of the liquor store next to the Nexton Publix left Long Island after $24,000 in taxes.
Yeah.
Mike says that's stupid money. I agree. That is stupid money.
I mean, think of that's $2,000 a month. Yeah. See how fast I did that math? Aren't you proud of me?
That is, you were quick, and you're not feeling well.
Or phone or nothing. I didn't even use my fingers.
Yeah, and you're not feeling well, and you still did it. All right, Duncan. We have 2 Bernese Mountain Dogs that love being around people. Is there any specific neighborhood that might be more dog friendly than another?
It's funny you say this because today we were over in Summerwind and we had two different clients that we saw over there while we were there doing some video. He was taking his dog over to the puppy playground there. I would just say the bigger the neighborhood, the more chance there is to have other dogs to play with. That being said, I hardly ever see anybody in the Carnes dog park here. I see people out walking their dogs around the neighborhood all the time. But we've got dog parks in, I don't know, Mark, at least a third of the neighborhoods I think have dog parks. Nexton is probably your best shot just because it's so big. And I know that people do go over and use that dog park at Nexton, but you just hit it right. Our neighborhood here at Carnes they shut down the one pool at the end of the season every year for a puppy swim. Oh, is that fun to see? That's chaos and mayhem there, buddy. Yep. Dogs just going bonkers in the water.
Yeah, since those dogs are so big, I think that Brighton Park dog park is probably the best because the dog park's so big. It's got some shade out there. You can kind of watch the dogs, and I feel like that would probably be the best dog park in a master plan community. But there's no like hateful dog neighborhood that I know of.
Yeah, no.
Where they just hate dogs. I haven't seen that.
There's a great park that is very well used down at Wanamaker. It's a county park. Yeah. It's somewhat close to Goose Creek. There's one in Goose Creek also. But the James Island Park is massive. It's got like dog washing station there with the hoses. It's got a lake that the dogs can go out and swim in. To this day, my stupid, moronic, idiotic black lab Boo-Boo is the only one I've seen poop in the lake. And like everybody's looking like whose dog is that? I'm like, I'm looking around like this. It was so embarrassing. My dog goes out, steps 5 feet into the water, and drops a turd in the water while all the other dogs are swimming around him. It was Andrew's genetics, I think, not mine.
I want to thank you guys for doing these and making all the videos. Hopefully in 2 years, I can work with you to relocate. Maybe I can pick your brains about getting into real estate too. Yeah. Thank you so much for saying that. This is why we do them. We want to help people. Obviously, we want to work with you, right? So we see people outside all the time, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're the reason that we moved here. Thank you so much for doing the videos." But then we don't have the opportunity to work with them. We would love to work with you, right, Jeff? I know you're going to go off on this for a minute.
Nope. Good. Listen. If you have another realtor that you know or that you like here that you want to work with, but don't come to this town without a realtor. There's just hardly any downside, all upside. And we can talk about that when it's time with everybody. And you guys do this all the time. I just got off the phone. I was on the phone with a guy from Long Island tonight for 45 minutes. Book the Zoom call. And even if you're, 2 years out is a little much, but hey, listen, if you think you want to be here in 2 years and you want to get an email once a month in a few neighborhoods, book a Zoom call with us. We'll jump on for half an hour. We'll get you set up. Well, once we get it set up on our system, it doesn't hurt us at all. We'll throw you an email once a month, whatever you want, and just keep an eye on the market.
Yeah, I mean, we've even met with people 3 and 4 years out just because they wanted more information.
Well, but here's the danger in that. We've had multiple times where people said, "Oh, I'm not coming for 2 years," and they come down and take a tour and they buy a house. Like they find a way, like, okay, I can work remote, or we've had people that retired earlier than they had planned on, because once they got here, they're like, I cannot do snow anymore. I can't do the $24,000 in taxes.
We were over in Four Seasons today making a new video, and we saw some past clients there. And what did the gentleman say? He said, "I wish we would have done it earlier."
100%. Yeah. And what's great is all 3 clients that we saw today, 2 different clients over at Summerwind and them at Four Seasons. I said, how you liking things? And all 3 of them, we love it. We love it. It's been such a great move. The one said, we wish we'd done it earlier. They've been, and that makes Mark and I super happy because we just we want what's best for people, and it's the lifestyle that makes sense for them. Those two were out walking their dogs, two little yippy dogs, like big little. What were they?
They're King Charles.
King Charles.
I only know because that if I would buy another dog, I think that would be the dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so nice.
Man, nice people. Nice people, nice dogs.
Yeah.
That Four Seasons dog park isn't bad. There was people over there today.
Yeah. Duncan said, what about some neighborhoods that have a lot of houses with Christmas decorations? You got a video on this, Jeff.
Yeah, Mark, but don't you feel like it's every neighborhood around here?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So I threw some videos up. I didn't get one done this year, but go to my Andrew and I have a travel channel, and I threw some videos up on that. Livin, no, it's not. That's that's
Gregg Getaways.
Gregg Getaways.
Yeah.
Go to Gregg Getaways on YouTube, and you can see some video I did in Carnes of Christmas. My problem is the guy I live across the street from, Josh, is like the Clark Griswold of the neighborhood. So I have, Andrew, we put out our Santa Stop Here sign, and that's it. We're done. And it's like across the street.
How can you compete with that? Like, it's not even worth doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I did one year want to set up a big 6-foot mirror in my front yard so people could stand at my my driveway and look at towards my house and see all the lights in the mirror. But Andrew's only pulled rank on me a few times, and she just said, "That's stupid. What stop it. What are you doing?"
So in my neighborhood, we have quite a few people that do it as well, obviously across all of Cane Bay, but in the back of the Oaks, there's a guy that does the music, and the lights go to the music.
Yep.
And it's on a cul-de-sac, so it's perfect. So people kind of go by and then just sit and watch, and you can tune your radio to it. So he does that for 4 or 5 different holidays.
A guy does that in Carnes over by Hewing Farms.
Yeah.
On one of the streets over there. So yeah, I mean, next in all of Cane Bay, Carnes, Summers Corner is the same. There's a lot of people that go bonkers on Christmas lights and also on fireworks on the 4th of July. If you've got a dog that doesn't like fireworks, don't move here, or just better drill the crap out of them, because there's some redneck hillbilly nonsense going on around the 4th of July and New Year's Eve.
Robert says, we were 2 years out and it was so easy. So there's a perfect example right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 years out and they got it done.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right. I think I hit all of the comments. If I missed a comment, let me know or repost it or whatever. Let's hit on some of the numbers for this week. It was a pretty decent week for buying activity. The islands and single family attached had a good week. So that's interesting. 338. We had a decent buying week last week too. So that's why we were only 16 up. 252 single family homes. 495 was the median. So that was up 27K. We were down $8 a square foot. And remember, this is what went under contract because we wanted to know the most recent prices, right? If it's something that sold, that really sold 30 days ago. So that's not really as recent of a price. So that's why we look at what went under contract last week. Almost 5,000 homes, Jeff, still went up 50 as far as what's available on the market. But I think that's good because we're seeing that buying activity pick up. Yep. So that way the buyers have more opportunity, Condos and townhomes. I know you're going to say something about this.
Unbelievable. It was 3 last week.
4.8 million. So since I knew you were going to comment on it, I'm going to go to the next slide for a second.
Okay.
This is where the 4.8 came from because I knew you were going to say, you're Balarkey, Mark. I don't believe you.
No, I just don't know where these $1 million condos are here.
So this is in the highly coveted French Quarter with arguably the most exceptional water views of waterfront park in the city. And it's at this place called Factors Walk. So I pulled this from their website. I'm not stealing anybody's pictures.
Yeah.
This is from the place website. But look how nice this place is. I mean, it's all single level living. So each level has obviously a condo.
Hey, Mark,
But,
did you ever think that maybe our clients aren't quite bougie enough? I want some of these $4.8 million sales.
yeah, if you want a $4.8 million condo, definitely call us. We can help you there as well, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, look, from 200 to 299, we went up 10 more under contract, and we went up 12 from the 500 to 915 mark.
Okay.
Went down a couple in the other. So 76 townhomes, we went up 20 overall from last week to this week. So that's a pretty big number.
Well, we've seen the builders increasing their production of townhomes, especially out here around Summerville.
Yeah. So mortgage, not so great news. From last week, we went up 0.22. So usually it's like 0.0 something up or down, and it doesn't really move. But 0.22, we went up a pretty good amount. VA is still under 6, though. So if you're a VA buyer, that's a pretty good number, especially since we saw them closer to 7 this time last year, I think.
Yeah, FHA and VA run about a half a point lower than conventional typically. We also have some other options. Now, you have to be within a certain debt to income ratio and then max out on the amount you're allowed to make and this and that. But there are governmental loans available also that do have lower interest rates that are specific to South Carolina also.
Yeah. Not too much changes on the different medians across. I think we went down a little bit in Goose Creek. We were up to like 65 homes in the Monk's Corner, Goose Creek area. But all the prices pretty much stayed around the same. Mount Pleasant went up a little bit. That's to be expected. Peninsula came down a little bit, but they only had 8 sales that went under contract. So
yeah,
not a huge change there.
This 636 on the mortgage, I just listen. We've been saying this for about a year now. I feel like these low 6s is our new norm. We're just nothing. This isn't Jeff and Mark saying this. Like the smart guys are telling us, the days of 4, that's gone. It's not going to happen. And so people, I feel bad for people. So, listen, at the end of the day, I'm happy to sell you a house now or 2 years from now. I'm not retiring anytime soon. But what we do know is that the house is going to cost 5-8% than it is now 2 years from now. So we've seen pretty steady increases in the cost of the houses. And so if you're waiting out the mortgage, don't, because you're just going to end up being, probably paying the same price on a house that you could have bought for $40,000 less.
We should do another one of those videos. I think we did one a long time ago where it was the cost of waiting. And we had it all laid out on the price. We'll have to do that either on a Tuesday or a regular video sometime.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hit some comments. Can you take a golf cart from Carnes to Nexton Square? I think they are close to each other, right? I'll let you answer first.
Legally, no. Have I done it? Maybe. There's 100 square or 100-yard stretch of 40-mile-an-hour road. Other than that, I can get to Nexton by 35-mile-an-hour roads, which I can drive my LSV on. It's not an easy, quick ride, though. Don't buy in Carnes thinking you're taking your golf cart to go to dinner in Nexton. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be a regular thing.
So now, I forget who told us this, but Rose Drive that goes up next to our office, supposedly that will eventually open up to Carnes. That's not guaranteed, and we don't know when. But
nor do we know what the speed limit will be.
Right.
But if it does, and it is 35 or less, I'll start driving my golf cart to work. It's going to be a straight shot and pretty easy to do.
Because by the map, the satellite, it's a super quick shot.
Yeah,
but
it's not much. It's almost done.
Yeah. Did you say bougie or boozy?
Well, I said bougie, but with the people on this live, it could go either way.
Chasey said, "Been there, done that. Condo living is not for me. It's not for everybody."
Andrew and I always said we're not going to do it now because this was before we ever knew about, or before I never knew about the Del Webbs and the Four Seasons of the world. But Andrew and I said we'd like to retire at a beach somewhere and sit and stare at the ocean. We talked about being in a condo to do that. But I don't know if I'd want it full time.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask. So, would you want it full time? And then the second question is, with all of the condos getting hurt down in Florida, does that scare you from ever doing that?
It does. Yeah. Yeah. The assessments that they've seen in Florida on these bigger condo buildings, it would scare me. I would pay attention to it.
Yeah. What's the craziest HOA rule you have come across?
No nude sunbathing with an elephant.
You're crazy. I guess that would be crazy. I've never seen that in an HOA.
Well, I'm just because it's not in there doesn't mean that you're allowed to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. I had this conversation today with somebody with Long Island about how intrusive the HOAs are, and I just haven't found them to be obnoxious. I really haven't. I promise I'd tell you if I did.
There's nobody out there measuring your grass with a ruler. Not here anyways. Now, if it gets up and it's got the little buds on the top and, it's up to your waist.
You're going to get a letter.
You're going to get a letter for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't found issues at all.
Oh, now hold on. I just thought of something, Mark.
Yeah.
There's been some scuttlebutt going around about the HOA over in Crowfield.
Oh, yeah?
So what happened is a lot of people back in the day in Crowfield, they would put a shed in their backyard.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't get approval to do it. And then they sold their house. And now the HOA is coming out and saying, hey, that shed was never approved. You got to take it down. These poor people were like, I didn't do it. I mean, I bought the house. It was already here. I have heard in Crowfield they're getting a little strict with some of the big things that have been done over the years that were not done correctly. That's the only thing I've heard.
Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot all about that. Jerry Forrest says, hello, gentlemen. What's up, Jerry?
Hey, Jerry.
I haven't seen that name in a long time. Hope you guys are good. Okay, it would be cool to open that up like the villages in Florida so you can go to any neighborhood with a golf cart. I agree, 100%. What are you going to say about the villages, Jeff?
It's just a little much.
Mark.
It's too much for me.
But if it's separate neighborhoods.
It is. I mean, I love Sun City Del Webb, but it's even too much for me. And down at the Sun City one. And we have lots of clients when we've moved in there. People love it. I like a little bit smaller. I love the end result of like Four Seasons and Del Webb being in the 1,400 home range. I just think that's a nice sweet spot.
Yeah. But I think opening up that road to go to Nexton Square, I think that would be smart for the golf carts and maybe even take some traffic off of that main street.
Yeah.
Because of that, people just going back and forth to Nexton to Carnes.
Yeah.
I think that would be smart.
And we have heard with some authority, there's no intentions on opening the road between Nexton and Carnes.
Yeah, Midtown and Carnes you're talking about, right? Yeah. Tracy said, the cost of waiting is an excellent piece, especially when it comes to investment. Cash is not king. I agree with that.
Yep, for sure.
Yep. That's Boozy talking elephant. Jerry said, we're flying up to meet with John at the end of May. Oh, I think I overheard him talking to you now that you say that.
Yeah.
His office is right outside of ours. Awesome. Can't wait to see you. Tracy says, in my HOA in Michigan, lady came by every Wednesday. You cannot have more than 5 planter pits on your front porch. Fine. So Del Webb Nexton, there was one of our clients that had a few too many things on their front porch, right?
Okay. Now listen, I know where you're going with this. and I have complete knowledge of this because it's Mama Gregg. Mama Gregg loves to decorate. And so when the holidays come around, it is like 4th of July exploded on her front porch. She did get a letter one time saying, hey, 37 holiday decorations might be a little much, something like that. They were very nice to have.
Jeff, so at Sunday, we got some new hats in. Sunday, if you come by the tent, maybe we'll do a raffle on one of our new hats because we don't have a lot of them. But what do you think about that? Here's our new hat.
Hey, I'm on the hat. Nice.
Well, I want to focus. There we go.
I need you to focus.
Right?
I say that to my kids all the time. I need you to focus.
I love these new hats, though. They're really nice.
They're comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got back from my cruise, and there was one sitting on my desk.
Are you gonna wear your shirt on Sunday that I got you?
I don't know. I'll try it on.
Okay.
I didn't try it on yet.
Jeff and I got matching shirts, so we'll see. All right, I think we hit an hour. I think we hit all of our comments. We could save the other content we had for next.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go do a line of NyQuil. Wonder if it'll hit me faster if I snort it. Not that I would know.
You're getting to the end of the Zoom when Jeff talks about doing lines of something, anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I might not be feeling great.
Oh, too funny. Well, I hope you feel better. If you don't feel good tomorrow, let me look at the schedule. Too bad you still have to work.
I knew that was coming because I saw what the schedule. Actually, I do this a lot. I've got superior genetics, and there's a high likelihood I wake up tomorrow morning and I'm fine.
Okay. Because
this hit me just this afternoon. I came home. I took a little hour-long nap so I could be nice and fresh for the live tonight. And I'm going to go snort a NyQuil and go to bed. And I think tomorrow I'll be good to go.
All right. I hope so because we got more video to do and people to see and puppies to hug and all that.
Copy that.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining. At the end of this video here, we're going to throw up a QR code. And if you'd like to book a Zoom call, scan that with your phone because most of our people are watching on their TV right now. And, book that Zoom call with us. Like Jeff said, even if you're, 1-2 years out, we would love to chat with you, just answer some of your questions, find out is this the right area for you or not, and hopefully we can get you in town for a visit as well. But until next time.
Come on and see us on Sunday.
Yeah, come see us Sunday. See you next week.